Good morning, students. Welcome to our online class. This is your second period, and the subject is economics. Dear students, today, through this recorded video class, I am going to continue the same chapter, that is, chapter 4, employment, growth, informalization, and other issues. Employment, growth, informalization, and other issues. The chapter 4 from book 2, that is Indian Economic Development. Actually, this chapter is from unit 2. Chapter 4 from unit 2 from book 2, that is Indian Economic Development. So, today we are going to continue the same chapter through this recorded video class. I suggest all my students to watch this video carefully and listen to my lecture with a lot of attention so that you can understand the chapter in a better manner. Okay, students? Now, students, after reading this chapter, what you are coming to know, what you are going to know. So, my dear students, after reading this chapter or after completing this chapter, you will understand some of the basic concepts relating to employment, relating to economic activity, relating to worker, relating to workforce, relating to labor force, relating to unemployment, related to types of unemployments. So all these things you will come to know. What you are coming to know? Employment, economic activity, whom you call worker, workforce, labor force, unemployment, types of unemployments, etc. You will also come to know the nature of participation of men and women, the nature of participation of men and women in various economic activities in various sectors. How do men and women are participating in various economic activities in various sectors or various regions. You will also come to know the nature and extent of unemployment in our country India, the type of unemployment, how much it is found in our country India. Lastly, you will come to know what are the initiatives taken by the government, what are the measures taken by the government for generating employment opportunities in various sectors and various regions in our country India. So these things you will come to know once you read this chapter. The chapter started with a quotation given by Mahatma Gandhi. I am reading this quotation, listen carefully. What I object to is the craze for machinery, not machinery as such. The craze is for what they call labor saving machinery. Men go on saving labor till thousands are without work and thrown on the open streets to die of starvation. In this quote, Mahatma Gandhi is telling about the importance of labor. And when machinery was started, when work was started with the help of machinery, then how the labor force were thrown out of employment, how they were led to starvation and to die. Fine. Now students, I am beginning this chapter today. That is, that I am starting. So, students, people do varieties of work, or I can say people will do variety of work. Some people will work in their farms, in their fields. Some others work in their factories, banks, shops, and many other workplaces. I repeat, people will do variety of works. Some people work in their farmlands, agriculture lands. Some people work in factories, banks, shops, and various other workplaces. Even some people will work at home. They are working at home only without going anywhere. Work at home includes not only the traditional work like weaving, lace making, or variety of handicrafts, but also modern jobs like programming work in the IT industry. Here, what I want to say, people are working at various places. Some are working at homes, some are working at shops, some are working at factories, some are working at banks. Different workplaces they're working. I told you some people are working at home. You don't think that those who are working at home they're doing only domestic works and also that handicraft works such as lace making, etc. etc. But my dear students, I want to say even by staying at home, people are also working what? Various programming works related to IT, information technology. Earlier, factory earlier factory work meant working in factories located in cities. Generally, factory work. What does factory work means? Your factory work means when people are working in factories which are located in cities. Whereas now technology has enabled people to produce those factory based goods at home in villages. Today technology is developed. So it's not necessary that one should go to work in factories which are situated in the cities or in and around cities. With the help of technologies, you can do the same kind of work by staying at your home in your villages. So technology enabled all these things. Now, my question is, why do people work? Why do people work? People will work in order to earn livelihood, in order to earn incomes, in order to earn wages. Why do people work? That's the question. So, what I want to say, work plays an important role in our lives as individuals, as members of the society. People are working in order to earn for the living. Why do people work? People are working in order to earn the livelihood, living. Some people get money, some are getting salaries, some are getting wages, some are getting in the form of kind. Some are getting in the form of cash, some are getting in the form of kind. Okay. So, people are earning their incomes by doing various kinds of works, various kinds of jobs. And in return, they are getting wages, salaries, kind or cash, etc. This does not completely satisfy anybody. Being employed in work gives us a sense of self-worth and enables us to relate ourselves meaningfully with others. Okay. Every working person is actively contributing national income. This is very, very important. You are working. You are helping in production of goods and services. And this production of goods and services will have some value. And this production of goods and services, the production of final goods and services, which helps in the contribution of national income. That means every individual is helping in what? Increasing the GDP, gross domestic product. I repeat here, every working person is likely, or you can say actively, contributing to national income, and hence the development of the country is by engaging in various economic activities. Every person is engaged in some productive activity, economic activity, producing goods and services, and contributing in the country's GDP. Hence there is an economic development in our country India. Okay, that is the real meaning of earning a living. Why do work? Or I guess we do not work only for ourselves. We are not working for ourselves. We also have a sense of accomplishment when we work to meet the requirements of those who are dependent on us. I mean, sometimes we are not only working for us, we are working for those people also who are depending on us, who are dependent on us. Having recognized the importance of work, Mahatma Gandhi insisted upon education and training. So you please underline this sentence. Mahatma Gandhi was the person who was insisted on education and training through a variety of works, including craft. So Mahatma Gandhi, he laid emphasis on education and training both together, with a variety of works, including craft work. Studying about working people gives us insight into the quality and nature of employment in our country and helps in understanding the planning our human resources. It helps us to analyze the contribution made by different industries and sectors towards national income. It also helps us to address many social issues such as exploitation of marginalized sections of the society, child labor, and etc. Fine, this is about what introduction. Now let us move to our main topic, that is who are workers and what is employment. These two topics we will learn now. Whom do you call workers and what is meant by employment? So what is employment? That is the question. What is employment? Who is a worker? These two questions we will study in this topic. Now, when a farmer works when a farmer works on fields, he or she produces what? Food grains, raw materials which are needed by the industries. I repeat, when a farmer works on fields, he or she produces food grains, several raw materials which are needed for the industries. Cotton becomes textiles, or cotton becomes cloth in textile mills and in power looms. Cotton turn into what? Cloth. First cotton turn into what? Yarn turn into what? Your cloth turn into what? Textile or clothes. Lorries transport goods from one place to another. We know that the total money value of all such goods and services produced in the country in a year is called gross domestic product. You know, the total value of all the goods and services that were produced in a country during a year is called gross domestic product. When we also consider what we pay for our imports, see, whenever we are importing something from other countries, we have to pay. And whenever we are exporting something to other countries, they have to pay. The difference between imports and exports, suppose if the imports are less and the exports are more, we are getting extra income, more income from other countries. Suppose we are exporting less and importing more, then we have to pay more. Then there will be more burden on our economy. Same thing said here. What is said here? When we also consider what we pay for our imports and get from our exports, we find that there is a net earning of the country which may be positive. When our earning will be positive, when exports are more and imports are less, then our earning will be positive. When our exports are less, imports are more, then our earning will be negative. We have to pay for other countries. Similarly, when we add this earning, plus or minus from foreign transactions, what we get is called country's gross national income, GNP. GNP means what? Gross national income. Fine. Now I will tell you what are economic activities. What are economic activities? Those activities, I'm giving the answer. What are economic activities? Those activities which contributes, those activities which contributes to the gross national product are called economic activities. You can underline, students, this one. What are economic activities? All those activities, all such activities that helps in contribute to the gross national product, GNP, are called economic activities. Suppose you are doing some work, you are doing some activity, and this activity, this productive activity helps in contributing the country's GDP or increasing GDP, that is called economic activity. So all those activities which contribute to the gross national product are called economic activities. All those who are engaged in such economic activities with whatever capacity, whether high or low, are called workers. So two things I told you. One is economic activities. What are economic activities? All those activities that helps in the contribution of gross national product are called economic activities. And those people who are engaged in these economic activities at whatever capacity, whether high or low, are called workers. Now, sometimes what may happen, some people temporarily, for short period, temporarily, they may absent from their work due to fever, due to festivals, due to some other domestic problems, etc. What I want to say, even if some of them temporarily abstain from work due to illness, injury, festivals, physical disability, social religious function, etc. Okay, then also they are called what? Workers. Only for time being, for a short period, temporarily, due to injury, due to ill health, due to social and religious festivals, due to any other reason, they are absent from work. It does not mean they are not workers. They are still workers. Okay. So people, those who are engaged in all such economic activities are called workers at whatever capacities, whether high or low, are called workers. Sometimes if they are temporarily absent from that work due to injury, ill health, religious and social reasons, domestic regions, festivals, then also they are considered as what? Workers. Now, workers also include all those who help the main workers. Here, workers are those people who are also working the main workers. Those people who are helping the main workers are also comes under what? The category of workers. My dear children, listen carefully. Those people who are assisting and helping the main workers are also termed as what? Workers. So workers also include those who help the main workers in these activities. We generally think of only those who are paid by an employer for their work are workers. Generally, what we are thinking, so those who are generally paid by their employer, that's it. We generally think of only those who are paid by an employer are called workers. We are thinking like that. Suppose I am working somewhere and I am being paid by someone, so then only you are considered me as what? Worker. If I am paid by someone, you people are thinking whom you are calling worker. Suppose if a person is doing some work under someone and this person is paid what? Wage or salary, etc. Then only you are considering this person as what? Worker. When somebody is working under somebody's control and that person is paying something to this person, then only you are considering as what? Worker. It is not like that, beta. It is not like that. Okay, this is not so. I'm telling you, this is not so. Those who are self-employed are also workers. You don't think that suppose I am working under someone for which I have been paid some monthly income, salary, wage, then only you are treating me as worker. It is not like that. Those who are paid, those who are working under somebody's control. Those who are working under somebody's control and paid in return. So you are thinking that they are the workers. you are considering them as the workers. It's not like that. It's not so. Those who are engaged, those who are self-employed are also called what? Workers. They're not working under somebody, but still they are workers. Now, the nature of employment in India is what? Multifaceted. The nature of employment in India is what? Multifaceted. Some get employment throughout the year. Yes, some people are getting employment throughout the year. Okay, some other gets employment only few months in a year. Here, in our country, India, some workers are getting their work throughout the year. Some people are getting work only for few months. Okay. Many workers do not get their fair wages for their work. That's also there. Many people, they're not getting fair wages for their work. That's also there. While estimating the number of workers in India, that I told you, who will estimate the workers in India, who will count the number of workers. So while estimating the number of workers, all those who are engaged in economic activities are included in as employed. All those who are engaged in any economic activity, okay, are included as what? Employed, or are called employed, or known as what? Employed. I repeat, all those who are engaged in economic activities, are included as employed. You might have been interested in knowing the number of people actively engaged in various economic activities. I mean, how the people are engaged in all the economic activities, primary, secondary, tertiary. You might have interested in knowing them. See, during 2011 and 12, India had about 473 million strong workforce. During 2011 and 12, 473 million strong workforce was there. Since majority of our people reside in rural areas, most of the people in India are living in rural areas, the proportion of workforce residing there is higher. So today you come to know, most of the workforce are living in rural areas. So naturally you can say workforce is highly residing in rural areas, or more workforce is residing in rural areas than urban areas. Now, the rural workers constitute about 3/4 of this 473 million. Out of 473 million workforce, 3/4 of workforce living in rural areas. Next, men from the majority of workforce in India. I repeat, men. So here what I want to tell you, here out of 473 million, that much workforce, 3/4 of the workforce, they are living in rural areas. Now men form the majority workforce in India. See, two things you come to know here. More workforce are residing in which areas? Rural areas. First point. Second one, out of total workforce, which workforce is more? Men or women means what here? Men. So men form the majority of workforce in India. Both men and women both are there, but more workforce is what? Men. About 70% of the workers are men and the rest are women. Out of 100% of workforce, 70% of workforce are men and the rest are what? Women. Now here, women workers account for 1/3 of the rural workforce. Now here another important thing. In rural areas, I told you more workforce is there. But in rural areas, who are engaged more? Which workforce is more? Men and women means what here? Here women. I repeat, women workers account for 1/3 of the rural workforce. I mean, 1/3 of the rural workforce is what? Women. You can underline this one. Women workers account for 1/3 of the rural workforce. Whereas in urban areas, they are just 1/5 of the workforce. That means in rural areas, more women are engaged. So women workforce is more in rural areas, 1/3. The same women workforce in urban areas is what? 1/5. In rural areas,